Kia ora Illuminates, welcome back to our channel. We are in the final few weeks for the set champs for Archazia'S Island. One of my friends won the set championship with rather a unique deck. He's the only player to play this archetype, and he's kindly agreed to do this video with me, so we're gonna be talking about his deck list. Let's get straight to it.
My name's Ross. I played Emerald, Sapphire, the Muses last Saturday. It's like a tempo ramp deck, similar to what I used to play in Magic. You know, I like big spells and ramping and controlling the board. I played Magic and Pokemon. Those are my main games, and Lorcana. I won the TCG Culture Store Champs event. Today I'm gonna run down through my deck and the matchups I played and how the deck plays and what cards I'm mulligan for. So for the one cost, I'm running Clarabelle. So this one is the shift target for Clarabelle Light on our hooves. It's also got an ability where I pay 2 to banish an item, so it's good for like popsicles and sapphire coils. For the turn 2, I'm running 4 copies of the Tipo and 4 copies of Sail. I really want to hit that turn 2 ramp and lead into a turn 4 Singer the next turn, so I run all these 4. Run 4 copies of Visions of the Future. It's just a consistency card. Helps you dig 5 cards deeper, you know, get the answer I want, get the winning bend to my will and all that. Running 1 Mother Gothel. This is just the turn 5 play, really, so I can pay 2 and bounce on turn 5. It's a Singer as well, and I'm running the shift Mother Gothel later. So this Mother Gothel is unconditional. It bounces really anything. You can bounce half sharks, you can bounce Tamatoas, you can bounce genies. For the songs, I'm running Heffalumps and Wuzzles and Strike a Good Match. So these songs cantrip, Tipo can sing them, and when they have Muses out on the field, they can be a pseudo removal and stall the game out. So these are good, for example, on the Daisy Ducks. You can prevent them from questing, or Smeece, and bounce another target if you've got a Muses. And this one is just another Visions of the Future. I've skipped the 3 and I've gone straight to the 4 cost with 4 Muses, 4 Grand Matala, and 2 Scrooge McDucks. So the Muses is really why you play this deck and you play all these songs. It bounces all the genies, all the Merlin rabbits. It's a good card to sing your songs with, and a good payoff for ramping on turn 2. Grand Matala is just another consistency singer, so it replaces itself when you play it on play, and if you don't draw the Muses, these are a good substitute. And then the Scrooge McDuck is just a 5/5 on turn 4, big body, quest for 2, and it can sing songs, so it's if you miss on these are good backup to have. The Scrooge McDucks, I play them usually against the steel decks because they're very combat based, so like these can challenge Calhoun's and survive. You know, I can bait my Tipo and then challenge with these. They're good against the songs, not just their removals. Against the high body characters as well, like Sapphire with their sharks and Tamatawas, these can challenge those. For the songs that my singers can sing on turn 4 ink, I've got the You're Welcome, Mother Knows Best, and How Far I'll Go. You're Welcome is very good against cards that don't really protect themselves, so like Mavi Half Shark and the Tamatoa Genies, and locations as well, very clutch against the locations like Macduck Manor and the Library. These are premium removal, but I would never play them by themselves. I have to have like something to help me get value when an opponent gets value from the draw too, so like a Clarabelle or a Bend to My Will. Mother Knows Best is also just unconditional removal for the deck, very good. So I can just sing a song with this, bounce an aerial, bounce a genie, bounce sharks and all that. Just a very good tempo play that the Muses just gets a lot of value from when you sing it. And then How Far I'll Go is such a good card. It ramps you, tempos the opponent out with the Muses, and you get 1 card from it. Very strong with Emerald Sapphire. And for the 6 cost, I play 2 copies of Genie. Good card. It's evasive, bounces a lot of good targets. There's no restriction for what he can target with these. So you can bounce opponents' other 4 cost Genies. They're Singers. That's a very good tempo play against the Singers. Bounce Shark, which is huge. Just don't bounce your opponent's Mana Medusa. You're good. Quest for 2 as well. So when you're in a lower race, these are when you start racing. This card is also good against cards with shift targets like Robin Hood and Cinderella and Ursula and Ariel, yeah. Bounces 2 characters for 1, and yeah, you've got this big body that it's hard to touch these evasive characters. And then for the toolbox characters that I play for this deck, I play 2 copies of Mother Gothel, 1 Kuzco, 2 John Silvers, and 2 Peter Pans. Mother Gothel is very good against characters that protect themselves with ward. It's come up with like mirror matches in the Sisus, and like this is really good against. Temples them out. Quest for 2. 4/6 body is huge. It survives a challenge from a big Sisu. So this is good. Kuzco, it's really hard to deal against locations and items in this list, so I've got 1 tech Kuzco here against the Manor, against the Popsicles, against the Sapphire Coils. John Silver is very good against the aggro decks, where I force them to challenge with Reckless. 5/5 body is huge. Yeah, quest for 2, so I can get under the lower race. And that's what I want with the 6 cost. I want them to quest for 2, because this is a very slow deck. I'm ramping early, and this is how I want to catch up with these cards that tempo you out, but also get me back into the game. And then my other 2 cards here are the Peter Pan. And what it does is it prevents opponents from gaining lore unless you challenge it. So sometimes when I've got the game pretty much on lock, and the opponents are going wide as well, these characters are good follow-ups when the opponents are going wide, because I can make them reckless, I can bounce them, and then this is also good to protect my board, give them resist. And then the Peter Pan is good against cards that like to gain lore without challenging, so like it's good against Giant Cobra, Verdant Goat, the Locations Library. These stop my opponents from gaining lore, and it's very good. And then the finish of the deck are 4 copies of Clarabelle and 3 copies of Vent to My Well. The payoff for ramping and drawing a lot of cards with Clarabelle is so that you can get on the board early with big creatures, draw a lot of cards, and you got this big body that is hard to challenge. For bouncing all your opponent's stuff with the Muses and the Mother Gothels and the Mother Soul's Best, the best removal in the deck is Bent to My Wills. Can get rid of Be Prepareds and Sisus. Just big cost cards that get stuck in hand because you keep tempoing your opponent out. You know, I've removed like 6, 7, 8 cards with this 1 card, so it's an 8 for 1 most of the time. Bent to My Will is very good with stuff like Genie or others singing your tempo songs like Mother Soul's Best and You're Welcome. You've got a lot of singer for these tempo songs that puts cards back into the opponent's hand, and then you discard them all with Bent to My Will. And that's how you get back into the game and try and get ahead of your opponent. For the aggro matchup, the cards that I want to see in my opening hand are at least 1 Muses and a Ramp spell. Turn 3 Muses is just really strong, and I just want to get it early. I've got a lot of songs that I know can tech me for the matchup. This is a singer, and preferably Tipo, because Tipo can sing cheap songs as well. And then the songs that I want to sing with these are Mother Knows Best or Heffalumps. Even How Far I'll Go is very good. Helps me ramp while also removing a body. And You're Welcome. So Heffalumps is good. It's a song that Tipo can sing, so I can prevent 2 bodies from either questing and bouncing a card. So if in the Amber Steel matchup, for example, I can prevent a Smee from questing and like bouncing a Daisy Duck or a Cinderella. Mother Knows Best is just clean removal. Once I've set up the Muses and I've got Mother Knows Best and multiple copies of Muses, it makes the matchup easier. I guess for the Amber Steel, what I don't want to see is like Pete stops these songs from getting played on turn 4. That hurts the deck. That's when they start questing more. Other cards I'd like to see are just a Clarabelle, big body singer, and then can challenge multiple stuff. And then the toolbox cards that I want are the Genie and John Silver. Making stuff reckless means they cannot quests, and then just tempoing out singers is just very good. I don't have to discard all their hands, just preventing them from questing, because the small bodies are very tough to beat. For the Amethyst matchup, Emerald, Sapphire Amethyst, Ruby Amethyst, where they like to draw a lot of cards. I like to keep a Clarabelle in hand so I can have a shift target for later. I want to see my ramp spell on turn 2, Sailor Tipo, and I want to ramp into the Muses. Having Muses on turn 3 makes it so that when they play a Genie or a Rabbit on turn 4, that I've got the bounce spell for it. It can sing all these. You're Welcome, How Far I'll Go, and Mother Knows Best. It gets clogged in their hand, so they'll probably most likely replay it. And then on turn 5, I'll have this Clarabelle, which will make me draw a massive hand. And if I've sung how far I'll go, I'll be ready to go to Bend to My Will the next turn, where I've drawn like 6 cards, kept up on pace, dumped all my hand because of the ramp, and then ramp into Bend to My Will. So I've kept up on pace with them with cards. I've head on them on ink, and yeah, I've discarded all their hand and just ready to win from then on. Good against when you're clogging up the draw spell and Amethyst, so like Rabbit and Genie, and you'll discard all their payoff cards, like their Be Prepared, their Finders Keepers, their Hades, and all that. The Muses and these songs, I can bounce their cheap characters like Diablo and Chernobog's Followers and the Magic Brooms. They're relying on those cantrips really, and they'll just keep replaying those sometimes on turn 5, just so they can expect that draw. Mises just controls them. If you curve out like this with your Clarabelle into your Ram spell into Amuses, and you've sung how far I'll go into a Clarabelle, on your next turn after Clarabelle, you'll be able to play Bend to My Will next turn, while they'll only be on like Ink 5. So Muses can target stuff like Elsa and Genies and Rabbits, and discard them all with Bend to My Will on turn 5, and you kept up on the card draw with the Clarabelle, so you're probably left with 5-6 cards in hand. Well, they'll have 0 at the next turn. And you just hope they don't draw anything after that, really. And then this is just an unbeatable beater when it's an empty board, when you've cleared everything with the Muses. Yeah, their hands are usually just slow enough and very low power that you can bounce anything with this card. For the Ruby Sapphire matchup, after ramping, these are the cards that I really would like to ramp into. Muses has no targets ever since Hiram got banned, so this one is just a good body that draws a card, and this helps against Hero to All Maui and the other. These are the best cards to wrap into after turn 2. And they also sing my unconditional tempo spells like You're Welcome and Mother Soul's Best. So very good against Macduck Manners, and the Shark. Not good against stuff like Maui, though, the Reckless Maui, especially this one. But you would love to see You're Welcome in that matchup, because helps get rid of anything sticky on board. So in the Ruby Sapphire matchup, You're Welcome is very good because cost for some cards are expensive, and they most likely would like to replay them again. So like Tamatoas and the Shark. So this one's a good removal spell to keep them on replaying that card and not stick something else on board, or not get them to develop the board. Same idea with the Genie. You just want to get rid of their big characters that your Muses cannot deal with, and yet evasive means it can dodge stuff like Maui, so that's how you quest against that matchup. Clarabelle is just good because they draw a lot of cards still, and just a big body. And then Bend to My Will is just, with their expensive cards, they're only playing once per turn. They'll either have to choose between a Sisu or a Be Prepared or a Maui Shark. These gets rid of the cards that are getting plugged in their hand, that you're bouncing as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and good luck on your Snort Champs.